Hey guys, it's Nathan. So here we are in my room. I just wanted to show you my history in terms of education. You got my University of Toronto Bachelor's of Science and my college diploma from this training institute. Okay. Now, just like most of my friends, we all go to university first, right? We have very high ambitions of being a doctor, being CEOs, managers, things like that. And we go to university, and then when we come out of school, we have high expectations that we're going to apply and jobs are going to come easy. But then what do you know? We get a little bit discouraged when our 3 interviews go kind of sour, or you don't hear anything back. And then, like most of my friends do, is you struggle for a year, and then you decide, I got to go back to college. I got to go back to grad school, right? But that's the thing, in university, it's almost like where they pride themselves on being very logical. Here you are reading books, studying, and doing exams and midterms and essays. It's very structured. University is a very structured environment. A leads to B. If I study, I'll do well on the exam. And if anything, when you come out of university with that mindset, not to say that mindset's bad. It's great in the office or it's great at work. But when it comes to applying, you're thinking, if I go on Monster or Workopolis or I don't know, find people on LinkedIn, that's going to lead me to a job. When it doesn't happen like that, you almost get very discouraged. You have a lot of unwanted emotions, and then you struggle for a bit, and then you finally decide to go back to college or pursue grad school because you're thinking you're not enough, right? And there's more unwanted emotions when it comes to that. And so I did exactly the same thing. Struggled for a year, did a marketing internship, unpaid, didn't like it, and so I'm thinking, I need money. So I decided to go back to college, and I knew trades was very high paying, but I didn't want to be an electrician or anything like that. I studied to be a network specialist, right? So now that's how I started off working at Cineplex as a technician, and nowadays, recently I've learned to, my boss had trusted me with so much that I'm practically the assistant manager, something. So I say I'm a consultant, but I help the manager, help the boss, do set up jobs for the technicians, set up work for, set up stuff in the warehouse, okay? So I'm more versatile like that. But the thing about life is, when you start thinking, you got this University of Toronto degree, or this Bachelor's of Science, and you're thinking, I can only be a scientist, or be a researcher or something like that. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that, because you've just crossed off every other job you could have in life, right? If anything, university teaches you soft skills. It teaches you how to critically think, be logical, learn how to learn, be a good learner, So those are soft skills, and they sell everywhere, So you can't have those jobs. But the thing about those interviews is you can't really sell any skills, hard skills, right? That if anything, your interview goes like this. They go like, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And if anything, what they're trying to get from you is, are you going to stay here because you're somewhat overeducated for this job? And it's unfortunate, but that's what they want to do. They want to figure out if you're going to stay for 5 years, right? Because they don't want to hire someone, train them up, and then you get discouraged, leave, and then they just wasted, good 2 months training you up for nothing, right? So that's unfortunately how university jobs go. Sorry, if anything, take everything as an opinion, as advice. There's always an exception to everything people say. So here we go. So that's university, your university interview, and then when you get to your college interview, now you have hard skills, right? So if anything, these college interviews much simpler. They just ask you do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do this? Do you know how to do this? And then you say yes, 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 and then they're like, do you want to start Monday? Right? It's funny like that, but it does happen. But I wouldn't suggest. If anything, just do what feels right. If you still like things, passionate about university. I'm still wanting to get back into marketing because I studied psychology, consumer psychology, but I put it on hold for a while, and if anything, I'm making the money I need, but I'm just putting myself out there more and more, and who knows, I'll get some attention sooner or later, right? But I'm just giving you my personal experience. Don't feel discouraged with your interviews. You know, with summer coming up, people finishing your degrees. I'll give you some advice. It's great. So college, yes, good choice because you learn hard skills. But then, like, this diploma was almost saying the only thing I could be in life is a technician, right? Again, another label, right? And if anything, you know, these degrees, they kind of throw you into that pattern of thinking, right? But if anything, like, you could be anything you want to be, right? You could be two things at once. You could be in school and in a relationship. I have a friend who is a dental technician, you know, who finished at George Brown College, but he's a magician, right? You could be more than one thing. So don't limit yourself. Just do what's fun, because if anything, when you have fun in one area of your life, that funness, that happiness, it transfers to another, right? Think about it, right? I mean, if anything, it's just like, you know, that's why we encourage people to have hobbies, right? Hobbies, you know, because if you're playing, you're having fun, then just working alone isn't going to be as stressful, right? Or at school, and this is the mistake a lot of students get into, is that you just think like, my whole goal in life is to get a career first and relationships after. But what happens is, now you're just so stressed out, and then by the time you actually get that career you want, now you're 30 years old and you're regretting the last 10 years of your life, right? Because now you feel like you got to settle down and you didn't live your life. I mean, there's this common saying, like, why is it that a lot of millionaires say money can't buy you happiness? Right? They spent their whole life trying to make millions, and then they realize that now they don't have any friends, or their friends like backstab them all the time. Now they don't stay in touch with their family. And then they tell you that money doesn't buy happiness. So if anything, like this university mindset where it's all about careers and work and money first, and then relationships and things like that after, it's almost like you're setting yourself up for disappointment. I mean, I'm happy for if you can be a millionaire, but do you really want to pursue that and then realize that you lost something in the way? So anyways, I'm just saying that, so the three great things that you need to take from university, or you need to develop in general, to do well in interviews, to do well in life, to meeting people, to doing great in relationships. Three things is to build character, right? These are all revolve around building character. First, you have to learn how to network. Now that's the word you hear all the time. Kind of scary to do, but if anything, learning how to network is learning how to make friends. Because the more friends you have in life, the more people are looking out for you. I'm looking out for you, right? And if anything, you've got someone to talk to if you want to network. So that's an important thing, because the more people you know, the more exposure. If anything, you're learning how to build trust with people, because trust is this invaluable resource that gets you your resume up on top of the papers, you know? Trust is, there's no value to it, but it's very important in life. And if you can develop that with friends, then you can easily develop that in an interview as well. The next thing, and these two go hand in hand, is learn how to not take no for an answer, and learn how to not take things personally. So here we go. You're doing 3 interviews, and suddenly you feel very discouraged because they're saying, no, you can't have this job, or they're not calling me back. But the thing is, they just see that you don't have the right fit right now. And it's not permanent. It's not an attack on you as a person. They're just saying, you know, we have someone else, a better candidate, who has more job experience, right? And so don't feel discouraged. If anything, if you learn those 2 things at the very end, you'll at least be more persistent, because you don't have these things demoralizing you. You can just keep going, right? So those are 3 really important things that I want to come across. And it's very hard to achieve, but if you want to chat with me or hear me out, I'll kind of help you with that process too. Because if anything, like, I've learned that just recently. So, but now I feel comfortable being myself around others. I can be, you know, in relationships. I can be doing interviews. So there's a lot more freedom in how I feel now, and I hope you guys can achieve that too. So once again, those 3 important things: learn how to be a good friend, learn how to not take no for an answer, and learn how to not take things personally. So 3 big things to succeed in life. Guys, I'm going to catch you next time. Have a good one.